All right, everyone. Welcome to this solar eclipse Sidereal astrology forecast. This is for the solar eclipse on Monday, August 21st of 2017. All right, so long awaited. Us astrologers have been talking about this for quite some time, and a lot of you have been anticipating this solar eclipse, and I do think it's going to be a very positive one. Apparently, a lot of you are talking about people saying it's challenging or something. It's not challenging at all, actually. It's going to be forming a kite formation, which is basically a grand trine with sextiles. I'll show you what that looks like here in just a couple minutes. And it's in Leo, right? A new beginning with our self-expression, with our creativity, with doing things because we're passionate about it, because we enjoy it. And because of that, giving ourselves or our creations to the world, right? So this is a new beginning with that, and we're all going to be feeling it in different ways, but essentially seeing what it is we're passionate about, what we want to create. And this is a very large cycle, right? It's a solar cycle, so it's going into the next 12 months of this whole new beginning. So yeah, let's go ahead and break all of this down here in just a few seconds. All right, so here is the chart, solar eclipse in Leo. We've got the kite formation, as you can see here, these blue aspects, very positive formation. You can see how it kind of looks like a kite, and it's all pointing towards Jupiter, Jupiter being the top of the kite there. All right, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, let's talk about what Leo means. So this eclipse is going to be at 14:25 Eastern time. And it is going to be in North America, so you will be able to actually see it. And it is going to be a total eclipse. All right, so I highly recommend getting out there, especially if you're in the northern regions. Northern regions can really see it well, but it should be all of North America. So get out there, see it. This is all part of the astrology, integrating the actual physical astrology with our personal lives. And I think it's a great way of starting whatever these new beginnings are in your life. So let's talk about what Leo means. Leo is the lion, right? Essentially the lion. And, you know, some qualities about the lion that come to mind is, first of all, lion is proud, right? And so maybe asking yourself during this new beginning here around Monday, what are you most proud of? What is something you could create that you feel like you'd be proud of if you did? And that, again, would give to something larger than yourself. Because Leo is a very self-oriented sign, right? It's a fire sign. And you can even see this in the line. You know, line is very self-aware and very proud. But to balance that Leo energy, it is about going into the Aquarius. Okay, and Aquarius is about giving. And it's sort of a reminder that human beings, we are social, right? Not everything is centered on the self like it is for the lion, right? We have a more balanced way of doing that. And with Aquarius, it's about giving. And it's really the polarity of seeing that what we create and what we're passionate about really only can find an expression if we want to share it with the world, right? If it's only concentrated on us, then what's the point, right? What's the point of that? We may enjoy it, but I think that enjoyment soon dissipates, right? If you've ever seen in your life where there's a lot of personal enjoyment, eventually you get to that point where you want to, you know, be a part of something larger than yourself and give to something and contribute. And so that's the balancing of Aquarius, of taking those passions, taking those creations, and sharing it or ourselves with the world, with the community, with our friends, with others, right? This is what Aquarius symbolizes. So that's the balancing point with it. But yeah, you know, Leo is very much about this new beginning with what we're passionate about. Because, you know, what the world needs, so to speak, is for each of us to be doing what we're passionate about. And that's what this whole new beginning is, right? Creating, expressing ourselves, doing what's close to our heart, creating what's close to our heart, spending time with those close to our heart, igniting that inner flame. And it's through igniting this inner flame that we start to gain this fire, this energy, this self-expression, this creative energy. And it's going to manifest differently for all of us. So do check your weekly to see which house this is. All right. But it is fundamentally for the whole world right now, this new beginning with Leo, with our self-expression, with our passions. Now, the line is also very powerful. So there's a power to this. In fact, with some of these aspects, this solar eclipse is going to be conjunct Mars. And, Mars is all about using power as well, especially in Leo. So it really ignites that. But it's about power of taking action, I feel like, for this solar eclipse. And so asking yourself, what are some actions you can take that are, again, something you're passionate about, something you're creating, something you're expressing. And it's just a fundamental energy. It may not be a specific project or whatnot. It might be spending time with your kids. It might be spending time with your lover. It might be spending time with your friends. But it's igniting that inner flame nonetheless and taking the action to do that. Right? So this is what Leo symbolizes. Everything that's close to our heart. Spending time with it or with them. Right? And through that, getting those creative energies flowing. All right, so that's the conjunction with Mars. And in terms of the lion, yes, very powerful. I think this is, as all eclipses are, but this one in particular, a very powerful new beginning of knowing a little bit more about who we are and what we want, which is both Mars and Leo, right? Because we have to know who we are in order to create, to express. What it is we're creating is an expression of who we are, an appendage of who we are, if you will. Okay, so very powerful. Let's talk about some of these other aspects. We also do have Mercury retrograde through Leo. We've got two aspects actually going exact with this solar eclipse today, which I'll talk about. But in terms of this kite formation, I think this is going to be a very grounding solar eclipse. Like I said, it's fire. There's a lot of fire behind it, a lot of passion perhaps. And it's subtle, of course, give it time. And even leading up to this solar eclipse, it's good to meditate, get your alone time, the weekends, approaching Monday, clear. And what we're clearing is basically the past year. And so maybe asking yourself, what can you clear from over the past year that will create some space in your life? What are you letting go of? What do you not want to bring into the new solar eclipse cycle? Relating to your path, relating to this Leo energy. And then once the actual eclipse is taking place, Monday and onward, we'll have some space to cultivate this new energy and listen. Because often the mind might project in terms of what this is. In fact, often the mind will project what this is, especially with astrology. And that's kind of a caution with astrology. It's not meant to be used as a mental projection in terms of what this is. It's meant to be guiding us, right? So I think around the solar eclipse, listening to see what this new shift is of your perspective, perhaps with the sextile up to Jupiter, what you might be very grounded with this trine up to Saturn, and this trine up to Uranus, grounded yet free. This is a very liberating solar eclipse, I feel like. A liberating of letting go of what's outside of our control, which has been Uranus and Pisces. I think we're very receptive at this time, and that can be very freeing. We're also doing the healing, and we have been doing the healing with Saturn and Ophiuchus, right? And this stabilizing force of what it's like to spend time with the deeper dimensions of ourself and of life. And that's all in a very supportive aspect during this. So it's stable yet free, long-term with Saturn, yet progressive. Could be thinking outside the box, trying new things without disrupting our structures. And then the sextile to Jupiter is that we're open-minded. We're seeing potentials more than likely with this solar eclipse. And there might even be opportunities depending on your personal chart. I mean, the opportunity is within. And this is a great opportunity for this new beginning of aligning our life in such a way that's more in alignment with our passions, with what we enjoy, with that playful side to life. All right, that's what Leo symbolizes. Playfulness, seeing things more of in a realm of creative energy. Because what happens when we're in a creative state, we're not afraid. We're very present. We're not concerned about the future. We're not projecting anything. We're enjoying ourselves. So what is it you enjoy? These are great questions to ask. What are you proud of? What's important to you? What are you passionate about? What do you want to create? Because that's what the world needs. The world needs all of us to be expressing ourselves. And to be sharing ourselves. And to be sharing, perhaps, if it's a project, our creations. And maybe it's not a project. Maybe it's just a hobby or an interest. Right? That's what this is all about. So with this solar eclipse, Mercury is retrograde. I do want to emphasize this, that although this is a time of new beginnings, I think it is very important to be flexible during this time. I think over the next couple of weeks during this retrograde of Mercury in Leo, nonetheless, very good for just understanding that new information is coming to light. That we can start new beginnings, yet be flexible, yet learn, yet try new things and experiment. And through that, adapting and changing these new beginnings along the way. Maybe not majorly, but just as long as we have a plan A, B, C, D, we're flexible, we're adaptive, then we can shift, we can pivot, we can move this whatever newness is in a new direction. And mind you, this is, again, a yearly cycle. So give this time. It's not like all of a sudden on Monday there's going to be this passion of yours or whatever. It's just that it's going to take time. It's slowly integrating mostly over the next 6 months. But it's a yearly cycle. And 6 months from now, during the next set of eclipses, which I believe will be in February of next year, there's going to be a high point and a status check with a lot of the stuff that we're starting at this time, or whatever it is we're starting at this time. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's just a perspective, but it'll be a high point and doing that evaluation. So between now and then, slowly but surely cultivating these Leo qualities within each of us collectively. All right, so I think that pretty much sums it up. Giving who you are, putting yourself into something that you enjoy, all right? There's no fear when we're in a state of creativity. We're passionate about what we're doing. And then when we're giving, what's close to your heart, right? What is it you enjoy? Even how do you want to be seen for your creations in this world? How do you want to be seen as Leo? All right, so that pretty much sums it up. Let me go ahead and show you guys the aspects just so you can see the exact times. Again, the exact time of the eclipse will be at 14:25 Eastern time. Here's the aspects. As you can see, all the blue aspects. Like I said, it's a very supportive solar eclipse. We've got the sun trining up to Uranus, going exact on the 21st on Monday, which could give us quite a bit of self-expression, actually. Could be very, very freeing. Freeing in the sense of we can feel like we can express ourselves. We can be who we are. We can be eccentric and unique and individuals as we all are, and honoring that, and honoring our true self. Right? Very strong during the eclipse with this trine going exact at that time. As we get into tomorrow, Mars starts to trine up to Saturn in that kite formation. So we're willing to take slow and steady actions. This is a good synergy between Mars, which is what we want now, which again is all part of this new beginning. Action, initiation, taking steps. But we're seeing the big picture. We're willing to take it slow. We're willing to take it steadily. And that's a very good harmony between these two planets. All right, so yeah, here's all the lunar aspects for those of you that want to see it. But that is the solar eclipse. So I wish you all the very best solar eclipse. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll see you all next week. Have a good one. Take care.